We are here again, Ballhead and the Dread podcast. We give thanks for everyone tuning in from those times to now. Fire, what reason about today?
Yeah, we talk about a topic where we talk about envy and jealousy, seeing because a lot of people envious and always jealous of people when them see certain type of accomplishment and things, and we want to make them know so that is so unhealthy for your well-being, and it's something where you not overstand where you are because it's so deep rooted. You need to step back a little bit and understand that envy and jealousy is something that will destroy your life. And you know.
No, serious thing, Fire. And I want to tell you, we were in Ghana recently with Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa for his camp. And Priest Kailash was out there.
Yes, sir.
Honorable Priest Kailash. And we had private reasonings about this jealousy thing. And we did a reasoning on the for the I Never Knew TV. And I put the link in the description so you can check it, right? But before we even get into the detriments of envy or jealousy, two different things, right? We have to remember that being happy for someone else's success is a skill you have to learn.
Yes, man.
You get what I'm saying? It's a skill I had to learn. Because early on, I think we spoke about this a while early in episodes, but yeah, if I had with the basketball thing, I used to feel away with certain things.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I truly used to feel away, and it's like I really had to learn. People are uncomfortable saying this, but you have to learn. You have to learn to generally be happy for someone else. You know what I'm saying? And you have to learn that their success doesn't take away anything from you. I think that's the biggest thing people understand, Fire. Like the cake, people don't understand how big the cake is, you know? And it's not their fault. It's an ignorance about it, but they truly don't understand. So anytime someone has any form of success, instead of them, you know, being happy for them and just, or learning and observing, it's like an offense to them because they feel that that person took away from them. You know, so it's just, you know, it is, you know, and for the sake of the time of the reason, it's probably a separate conversation, but you really like daily, if you haven't gotten to the point yet where you're genuinely happy for other person's success, and it's something you need to consistently work on like a muscle, it's a skill. I don't even know if I believe it's a skill. I don't know if I'm categorizing it properly, but that's the best way I can identify. It's a skill that you need to learn. And unfortunately, in our society, people don't learn it, you know? So with that said, now let's get into this grudgefulness vibe. Unless you want to,
there is something a while ago, and I feel like it's a lesson right off at the top of the reasoning. It's still on track. It's not their fault.
No, it's not their fault.
It's something where enough people so conditioned and groomed into being envious and jealous of other people. And you know what I find strange for you? Sometimes a man envy or jealous of your thing. You're not even having no success towards your standards. and that's, I think that makes it so worse.
No, remember it goes back to what this. It goes back to what you were saying though. No, it's a real sound you just made because no, it's a reality. Because remember, a lot of times, man, I learned. I bring up this teaching thing so much because it's like one of the greatest experience. I really learned like the psyche of people, like really, you know, a broad group, and like the average person has had no accomplishments in their life.
Fox.
It's a sad reality, or even someone telling them good job or, you know, you're great or you're success. They haven't experienced that. So everything is offense to them. So they're in a different place. They don't understand, one, how this goes later in the reason, how much work it takes to actually get things accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
So for them now, it's just like a lucky thing, almost like life picking on them. You get what I'm saying? Like you're lucky and like I'm unlucky. There's nothing really to do with me because they don't know. Everything is more like these people are lucky or they're just chosen or they're in the right spot or right family or every other story that they give. You know, things just work out for you. All the little comments that people make. Not understanding that, man, this person really been through it. And this person actually stayed with this particular task for the duration of time until they got decent at it.
Nobody don't put the thought into the process. And I think the end result is where everybody look at that. And then you look at some of the end result. And if you actually step back 1 second and think and ask yourself the question, could I reach that level? Or am I prepared or have the resources at my foot at my fingertips to reach this particular level.
All right.
You'd realize, say, hey, you're not at that level. So you need to take a step back and actually look into yourself as opposed to looking external and trying for envy a next man. That would stop you in your tracks.
But there's another question they need to ask. Am I willing to deal with what they dealt with to get that thing?
And they're not.
That's what I'm saying, but that's just a question in regards to, because my mother always used to say, like, everything that's for you is for you. And she always talk about like fire, like, yo, she told me this from early, like, you don't know what people go through. You get what I'm saying? And as I've gone through life and achieved things, it's just like, man, in retrospect, fire, it's like, yo, it take a lot to achieve the simplest things. You get what I'm saying? I ain't even talking about no great maybe a next man to look at it as a magnitude thing, but like to just be good at something, to be decent at anything in your life. I don't care if it's a trade, a craft, a relationship. It takes an extreme amount of work and commitment. So a man may see me with my family, right? And say, oh, boom, but like they don't know how much work. You get what I'm saying? How much work fire goes into having that type of relationship with my family.
Because sacrifice is something human beings don't want to make sacrifice. The average human being does not want to make sacrifice, but they want to envy another person who has made that sacrifice.
In their defense, I don't know if they know how to make that level of sacrifice. Because this commitment thing, all these things are skills that we don't know. You get what I'm saying? Like whether it's, as I said, being happy for someone or being committed to someone, like I don't think people understand. Because if you're not exposed to commitment or a level of commitment to see a certain outcome, right? I'll have to argue, and I'm not trying to defend people for it, but I would have to argue that like they're generally not aware, because think about people's life, right? We can't even say the job is a default. So you're not necessarily committed, because we know the average job, nobody not really doing nothing like that to say they committed at the job, or they bounce around in different professions, right? In their own personal life, like where are they just demonstrating a consistent level of commitment to a particular thing in their daily life?
All right. So I gotta say something right now. May I listen to what I say now? But hear me and say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand all of that. As I say, you really have me a think when you say it's not their fault. But here's what I'm saying, right? Even though it might not be a lot of people fall for being envious and grudgeful and all of these different things, because them caught up in a system, or them probably programmed that particular way. I don't care. Because here's why I don't care. No, here's why I don't care. Because I don't care about if it's their fault or not. I care about the fact that people are being envious and grudgeful, and they will take your life. I am telling you that. I've seen, the most aggressive people on earth are the envious and grudgeful people. I'm so aggressive to the point that they will take your life or try to stop your success just so they can ravish and have fun around you not being successful.
I know people that used to rob people because they used to grudge people.
Yes, man.
No, seriously, like real stick-up people fight because they felt the way about what she was doing.
Of course.
So I know what you're saying, right? But even within that context, right? I hear what you're saying. I'm not defending these people. But at a certain level, fight, it's kind of like, yes, that envious can become life-threatening.
It will.
Right? It will. No, it can't get to the level where it's life-threatening, right? But that's like extreme part of the thing. Let's add that there. It is a part, right? Most people, though, it just becomes a detriment to themselves.
No, I disagree, Fire. I disagree
because listen, the average person that's grudging somebody not doing harm to them physically, Fire.
It doesn't matter if it's physical, Fire, and that is what I am saying. That's the reason why I say I don't care if it's their fault or not, because even if it's not physical, the wickedest people on earth are not the ones who do the physical things. It's the one who have the mental thought process. Because enough people don't understand energy is something, Energy is a thing where enough people have you and them create a space and an energy that throw you off with all of that intention, that bad intention and all of that.
Hold on, Fire. You said they throw you off or they think they throwing you off?
No, they reach some form of levels where they show you off. Because remember in the world, when every religion say they're praying, right?
Yeah.
Every religion have a concept of prayer. What is prayer? Prayer is just an affirmation and an intention. So you see, anybody who have a bad intention or an ill thought for me, even if they don't affect me physically, the fact that they have an ill intention for me, them throw something up in the air will create a different atmosphere. So now the fact me have to work twice as hard now instill the concept where me set out, which is nothing wrong with that, because we already set out said the Gideon are gonna be rough, the journey are gonna be rough, and we know the process of the journey.
Yeah.
Not saying that they can stop you because
All
of
right,
your
I just want to
intention.
clear. That's what
Yeah, definitely, because that would be a whole
that's
low level thing. So they can't stop you from doing that.
All right.
See, but you see, anybody who have an ill intention for you, anything that is in the mind will always somehow manifest its way to a physical, because human beings are so caught up in the physicality, in the concept of physicality, that once a human being have aggression, ill intention, grudge, any one of these traits that human beings have, and them keep on reiterate that, at some given point, there will be one of them who come out and try to do that physically. And me, I always tell myself, so from you have an ill intention for me, I don't even want to be around you, because you are more egregious and more dreadful and terrible than the person who will come outright and physical and try to approach me, because I don't even know of intention sometimes. Because most time people envious and grudgeful, you don't know them intention. Question for that. What, from your perspective, what does it entail? What does being happy for others entail? I think this is something we need for.
All right, being happy for others, right? So, I could say for my wife, right, is that she did something where she does presentations, but one of the presentations like streamed online, and me and Blair, she was in I think she was in Atlanta, and they streamed it online, so we watched it, right? And I was overjoyed because, one, I knew how much work she put in, and I was proud of her, the courage that she had to go up there and speak in front of people and speak so eloquently and do the thing. So it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just like your album, the last one, right?
Disrupting
Fight. I was just really elated, happy for you. I tell everybody about it. I play on the show. I share it because it's like, with that particular album, it's not just the completion of the album, but I really saw the growth.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I was just happy for you for your growth. And it's just like, I think that's what it is, to be just generally, it's nothing like, it's just generally being happy for others' success and understanding that, like, they overcame obstacles. You know, and I just think for me too, it's just a healthier thing, because I've been in a jealous state before, and it's not good for your mentally or physical. It's a vibe. It's stunting to you. You know, because what happens now is that, for instance now, and this is my experience, someone else will have to speak about their experience, but I want to be clear, this is my experience, right? This is not the absolute rule of thumb, but I spend less time being happy for someone, and it's more beneficial for both parties. It's a genuine energy, and it's good for me. I noticed when I was jealous, I spent more time being jealous, and it's just detrimental for me, because I'm not doing nothing to this person. If this person working on their craft or doing whatever they're doing and not I am wasting my time thinking about another person when I could be using my energy doing other things, trying to get myself together, get my creativity together. So that's why I said, like, it's kind of detrimental, because that short, genuine burst of energy is like, man, Fari did his thing, right? I'm back to myself, and I'm like, good, compared to FRI, how far I do that. And it's just a longer messing up your meditation. Then you got to get back now to a positive state and get started and then throw off everything. But more than anything, I think that the positive energy impacts people more than the negative energy on a cosmic level, if you want to say esoteric.
Thank you. Cosmical level. Yeah. That is what I talk about, with the negative energy we're thrown out there in the air. And that is the reason why I don't care for the whole concept of envious people, fam. Now, I understand that people can change, right? Yeah. But I think to the level of aggression that most human beings are at this particular stage, when it comes to envy and jealousy, I think they're, with the toxic environment around them, the way them carry it out so consistently, it become a part of human psychology, where envy has become a part of human psychology. And I think a lot of the average person can't really break free from it unless them evacuate from them surrounding and stop plaguing their mind with certain things. Because one, you mentioned two things. You mentioned a personal experience, and I feel like that is so important in regards to the happiness of people and the example, giving live examples. Like, for example, when me as an artist, when I see Kabaka Pyramid release him album, and we actually light enough of the tracks and light the production and we start tell people about it.
And you're not lying because we had this personal conversation.
We have the
like,
conversation
and
for real.
I just want to say this too, like, and this is a rare thing. I've been around artists, right?
Yeah.
Like artists grudgeful, yo. They don't give
Big
nobody
time.
no ratings, yo. I don't care how they want to chill with them. I don't care how they want to like them on IG and private. It's very rare, especially these younger artists. It is what it is, and you know who you are. The older artists, they kind of find themselves better. But I can speak for this man that this man always talk about music, and if the music dope, the music is dope. Yeah.
Simple. And then like no, we come to the first thing we tell you this morning when we come to the tell about Romeo and Virgo album and I talk about how
Not lying, man. Say I gotta listen to Romeo and Virgo
put together. And I think we're most people. The reason why I may have a small chance for most people making it out of this jealous state, not to be pessimistic, is just that most people can't say them tied. Most human beings tie their success to others' success, right? So they can't see themselves off as making it out if that person make it out also. So it's like, as you mentioned it at the start, once that person is doing something good, okay, that album is too good, all right. You know what? That's gonna stop me from making sales on my album. They don't realize it's not correlated. It's two separate things, and there's a space for everybody to strive because everybody is unique, just as their fingerprint are. And
everybody's success is different too. Fire, you can't gauge the next man's success. That's that man's journey. So you can't use that as a criteria for your thing.
But most people, that's what I say now.
That's why they flop out themselves.
But I think most people there will be a trend of most people continuing to flop out themselves. Not to be pessimistic, but I think they will continue to flop out themselves because they're so far gone in pollution and fire. I witnessed Envious recent where I'm making money on a particular project and somebody said to me, say, okay, you can't make money. We're not making money on this particular project. So why should you make money? Somebody legitimately said that. So what type of forgiveness or what type of mentality should I have towards this form of envy? And this is an envy that constantly happens. So we have to understand, say, most human beings, we have to be very careful of what this is. Envy is one of the worst things you can have, because envy is the form where it leads to all crime and all violence.
I want to say two things, right?
Yeah.
One, I want to jump back to this concept of change. I think we have to kind of reevaluate our expectation for change, and we have to speak about a person's ability to learn the skill to have that action. You see what I'm saying? So like the happiness vibe is a skill. So I guess the discussion should be, is that person capable of learning the skill to be happy for someone else?
It's very hard.
You get what I'm saying? Compared to just saying they could change, right? And I wanted to touch on what you said with your recent experience with the grudgeful person. Is like, I guess when you analyze it, it's like, one, can they impact your ability to make money, right? And also, like, what does that have to do with you? So if they can't impact your ability to make money, if that's the case, then that's a conversation, or, certain things need to be done so that doesn't happen. But if the person can't impact what you're doing, it's like you just low them,
Now, we're not talking about the mentality of the person who is being envied. So we want to make it clear now. We're talking about the person who is envious. So it's just a mindset.
That's what I'm saying.
Digging into the mindset of the envious person.
I know, but I was just saying, because you mentioned earlier, like, what do you do with that? And I was just saying, like, if you analyze the situation, this person doesn't impact what you're doing, it's just like, it kind of is what it is. I think
you can't just leave them like that to fire. One more thing more to say. Hold on. More to today. Keep it at. I really want to make that. It probably might impact what you say. And you can't just leave them alone for you. Because you see, the moment you become so naive and leave them alone towards the envious ways, that's when you get hurt. You have to be careful.
No, it's not naive. You acknowledge it, but I'm saying you really have to analyze the situation to see. That's why I said, like, you see, like, how can they really impact what I'm doing, right? And if the answer is no,
sometimes they can.
But if they can, then you have to deal accordingly. But a lot of times, you know what it is? A lot of times people just feel a way that people don't support them.
Yeah.
Like it hurts them.
Yeah.
And I think you got to get past that. And you got to understand and accept people. If this person's in a place where they're jealous, it's like, yo, that's where they are. I just got to let you rock, And it's just, I just distance myself. And if I can minimize interaction with you, or I don't have to interact with you at all, I don't. And if it's a person that you really have to interact with, then you're going to have a serious conversation to say what the problem is.
Conversation sometimes can't solve things with envious people.
No, we understand though. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, if you have that conversation, then you may have to part ways. But sometimes you pre a little sign with a person that's a vibe, and you just ask them, like, what the story is. And if it can't resolve, then you may have to distance. But I think with the envious thing, a lot of times people are just hurt the fact that people are jealous of them. It like hurts them, And I think that if you look at it and accept the person for, Fire, I really been accepting people for who they are,
Yeah,
at this
human
time.
beings, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not saying that a person can't evolve and they have a higher level of potential, but I really been just accepting people are like, what you show me, that's who you are, and I accept that. And I just know how to navigate with that. You
And
know,
the
but
biggest plague in our life, man, is to be
you know,
envious and
a Beanie
jealous,
Man
man.
said, what he say? Jealousy a disease, or no, bad mind a disease or something.
It is a disease,
No, it's a disease
but
still, you know?
it's unfortunate that most people use the word bad mind or jealousy actually have traits of being bad mind and jealous. And that is, I think, is a whole facade, because I think in life right now is a whole mental game I play. And I feel like it's so hard for finding people intentions these days. You have to dig so deep for find what is people intentions. And sometimes some of them so true to putting that front on, that mask on, that it's still so hard to even vet the process itself. So I feel like number one, as they say, which I truly agree, you can't make it get in your head.
Yeah.
I think that is the number one thing. And you can't, sometimes, you know, the weird part of it, when people envy you, sometimes it leads to ego. It leads to you having an ego. And it's that thing where you have to be careful of, because you say, wait, but I'm doing something good. So much people envy me on this particular journey. Oh, all right, me are the man then, and sometimes that in itself too, even while it's supposed to, it should flatter you, right?
Yeah.
As you mentioned, but some people make it get so make them become so egotistical that them become a monster based off of the jealousy where them receive. So you're so much different offshoot of jealousy you have.
And depending on your life, man, like I've always been kind of an overachiever from early. So this grateful thing not new. You get what I'm saying? From early, I've just been dealing with my whole life. I could see how it's like it's, I guess, hurtful and debilitating when, you know, you probably just started doing stuff and people started like just bad minding or whatever. But fire is something I've been dealing with my whole life. You get what I'm saying? So when I'm talking to you, I'm really talking from experience, because when I was younger, obviously it was an issue, but you grow and learn, and you learn people, and you just learn what's going on, and you pick up on it quicker too. You know, we could do a whole conversation in regards to like little comments, people saying things they do and how they react to stuff that are clearly red flags that fight they're a grateful person. You know, for instance, I'm gonna give you a basic example, right, for my social media people. If you do anything on social media, whether start a business or something, and it's a key brethren, and they don't like interact with it at all, or ask like a basic question like, yo, how is it making an album? You know what I'm saying?
Red flag.
It's a red flag, right? How is supposed to be a close associate of yours and they don't have any interest in what you're doing all of a sudden? Because they feel away.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Or if you tell them something, then it's like they switch the conversation, or, you know, if it's a problem, they'll talk to you long about that. But if it's something good, they didn't want to talk at all. It's just a bunch of little vibes you pick up on people's energy, you know. But
throw off the energy and throw off the mix.
yeah, and just bless them same way. Fire, it is what it is, you know. Family, friends, whoever, you just bless them up same way and keep it moving. And it's like the main thing for you is not let that be a deterrent for what you're doing.
That is the key.
You get what I'm saying?
That is the key.
So, but I wanted to say though, in closing, you got something else?
To one particular thing more add to the world. You said you mentioned social media. I think it's contributing to the jealousy even more, directly and indirectly.
Like, because people lying.
It's not just about lying. It's more like there's a spark of a debate culture, and the debate culture in itself now start like there has to be someone who stick to this topic, and there has to be someone who oppose this particular thing. So while your success might be in this particular direction, there has to be someone who challenge your success, and think about it from the opposing end. Automatically, they have to oppose it. So the fact that we have this debate culture, Bruno, there's an opposition to every single thing that you do, which naturally that is natural now. 7 brothers, 7 different minds.
Yeah.
But the rise of the debate culture lead towards more people being jealous and envious without what them wouldn't do normally. So it's like it boosts them because they must see more content, seeing more people rise up more organically towards for them liking. And then once them see these type of traits taking place, people success right in front of them face. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. No, I don't like that. I don't like that because X, Y, Z, and the reasons never really make sense. So the debate culture, it'll lead towards them having a more poisonous mind because they need to oppose something. And if you don't get a daily dose of opposing something, then it might be a problem.
Yeah, and I want to there's 2 things I want to say before we cut, man. One is that, as Priest Kailash mentioned in the reasoning, that you really do have to find glory in people who committed to something, fire, and that consistency, because
respect it.
fire. People are rough and tough out here more than I know. We have a distorted view of what toughness is. But there's some tough people out here that can really do stuff for decades and decades at a high level through all the ups and downs. Because the longer you do something, the more obstacles you face and the bigger obstacles you face. And for a person to stick through all that and continue to do something, salute to them. It's a rough soldier, a rough comrade. Also, too, with the jealousy thing is that you yourself, it's a skill. So like you have to work day by day and just find like simple things, just find like be happy for other people's things.
Very much.
You know what I'm saying? Be happy for other people's things and you'll be shocked that one, I'm not gonna say, oh, things are gonna work out for you because you're happy. Obviously, you have to work at stuff, right? But you just have a better energy. That envy and jealousy fire is bad for your spirit.
Weird, man.
You know what I'm saying? It kind of, there's no person that could say they're envious and jealousy of someone and they feel good in their spirit and they feel good in their body. I don't know the chemicals that it releases. Yahki, man, we'll put another video in the description. The Bridget Yahki did in the last interview. He was talking about being a hater fight, mess up your health, yeah.
Yes,
he was talking about mess up your liver or something.
Yes, man.
I will put that in the description also. But no, the jealousy thing can't work, fire. You got to kind of clean up yourself.
Clean up your heart and come, man.
Big time, serious.